their TV sets. Ma'am, thanks so much for speaking to NewsX. What are your thoughts on the big occasion and, of course, the magnificent performance that we've seen so far by Mithali and the entire team?
Yeah, the Indian team is fairly, not fairly I should say, they are really, doing really a good job this time, right from day one, and except for one or two matches. And yesterday's match was, the great because it was a decision match for them to enter into the finals. So, and that was very important because Australia is always the winning champions. So beating them and that too giving them a very good score, it was really, so beating them and that too giving them a very good score, it was really, they have done a great job on that. And it is the team support and the team's effort, I should say, that the team has been doing a great job, and I think they should, they have got one more match to prove their talent. With the same, a little extra effort, I think we will be getting the cup.
Well, ma'am, no doubt beating the Australian team in the semi-finals to get to the finals was a massive feat for our girls. And you saying that, of course, it's an all-round team effort. We've seen Harmanpreet doing extremely well. But Mithali has had a very, very special role to play in this entire tournament and in India's wins. She's now the highest run getter in women's cricket as far as ODIs are concerned. And she's brought so many laurels to the country. Everyone is talking about her big success. Maybe you can share the secret behind the success with us.
There's absolutely no secrets, for success. It is only the hard work and patience and your passion for what you're doing. That will, in a later stage, definitely it will give you that. And that is success, I can say. And to beat Mithali, it is the same, except that she was like in her childhood, like most of them, by now they know that Mithali was a little lazy in her sleeping habits, and to overcome that habit, we had to put her, we didn't put her into like, because it was just time for her to overcome that habit, like getting up early in the morning, that schedule. To overcome that, we said, okay, let her go to the ground. So once she started going to the ground, she can't just sit idle in the ground. So she started getting the balls, and the coach started putting her to some small practice sessions, like just holding the bat, because she was too small. She was only 8.5. So it was just a time pass thing, and dance was her first extracurricular activity. So cricket was just to overcome that sleeping habit of hers was it. And I think that has stepped over into her life and became a career and a passion. And once she started, noticing that cricket is, she's liking the game and she wanted to prove herself in that.
Right. Well, there is no doubt about Mithali's dedication to the game. You think she was all of 8.5 when she perhaps decided to pick up the bat first. That's a very young age to start out, and of course to decide that you want to play cricket.
I don't know. I am yet to know that what attracted her to cricket. Because today also somebody asked me this. I think you should ask that question to her. It's better what attracted her to cricket. But from my knowledge, I think in her growing stage, I think what attracted was the fame she got in cricket. Because when she started, because at that time when she was playing her league matches or any state level, her name used to appear in the paper and with her photo. So that was giving her a high. She said, come on, it is really nice. Like she was still in school, and then when the girls used to talk about her, here your photo came in the paper, she used to feel happy about it, and I think it is because of that. But otherwise, anything serious, I think it's better you should ask her what is that cricket she took cricket.
Well, ma'am, it is the ongoing World Cup that seems to have made Mithali into a household name. But fact of the matter is she's been contributing to the game for 18 years now. She's in a sense a veteran of the game, and since the time she began and you've watched her play for these 18 years, have you seen, the transformation take place in Indian women's cricket, or do you think we still have a long way to go as far as women's cricket is concerned?
Yeah, definitely. When Mithali started cricket at that time, frankly speaking, I never knew anything about women's cricket. Even she never knew. It was just like she started playing and okay. And then there was a team that we came to know there was a school team, and then there were league matches. But the standard was good even then. Like, the league matches, at least in our Hyderabad, the standard was very good. The girls played very good cricket. And even schools, they had inter schools, like, some schools had girls team and they used to come out with the team. And they had more matches, but then the matches were not according to a schedule, like, and nothing was, no payment as such. It was only thing the girls have to put their own finances, and they used to play. And even the state matches, when it was under Women's Cricket Association, it was only depending on the sponsors. If the sponsor comes, then they have their matches. It was like that. But once when even the grounds were very, the girls never got a good ground, there used to be some pebbles, they used to get injured, there were a lot many injuries like this. But once it came under BCCI, there are a lot of improvement, not only the facilities they get, but even financial support, which is most important for girls. At that time it was only the railways who used to give them a job, security, which is important. So now, but because once the girl takes cricket as a career, there's no other, either she gets into railway, otherwise if she's playing on her own, she wouldn't get anything. But now if a girl is still playing and she's still studying or something, they are giving, if you are playing in the state, you are getting some funds from BCCI, they are getting all the funds and all that. So it is a good encouragement, and apart from that, they are getting good facilities. That is more important, the back support is very good.
Well, absolutely, ma'am. Support and encouragement, especially from the cricket body that runs the game of cricket in the country, is extremely crucial. But, we've been talking for a long time about how women's cricket in this country has been ignored. Now, given how well this particular team has performed in this World Cup, I think regardless of whether we win the World Cup today or not, do you think that this performance, this feat is going to finally change the scenario of Indian women's cricket?
Yes, definitely, because one thing is from day one match, like first match itself, that girl Smriti, she had performed really great in the first match itself. Then they won against England, and later on it was continuous winning except for one or two matches, I think. And every girl was been performing apart from Mithali, and again Mithali is crossing her 6,000 runs. That was another great thing, like everybody stood up and said, oh yeah, Mithali is one of our Indian girl who put India on the map, number one, which is more important, because it was always Australia or England. It is Australia or England, one. Why not India? So I think now India is on one. And with Harman performance, not only with Harman, the team performance, with Harman's yesterday's performance, it really now, like, it is like giving everybody their, apart from the Indians, to other countries, it's giving them, I should say, oh come on, Indians are not lacking behind. We can't just take them for granted. They are equally what I think we are the best in, and so definitely, and with this, the Indian women's cricket team as such is a real boost. Because I think I have a special thanks to say to Shanta Ramaswamy, Diana Edilji, and some of the senior players who at that point of time when they started playing cricket, this cricket was nothing, like they just took it as a passion and they improved, and they have been improving it. So it is a great thing, like what they have started off. it is being putting up so much, like these girls are giving more to it, and in future they'll be giving more and making it more like equal to men's cricket or better than men's cricket, I should say. I mean, you shouldn't compare, but then when all guys are comparing it, so sometimes it may be better than the men's cricket also.
Now, ma'am, a lot has been said and written about the fantastic win we had against Australia, which even as you mentioned, was seen as a very, very strong and formidable team. And that, of course, marked our entry into the finals. What was that win like for Mithali? Did you get a chance to speak to her? What did she say? And what's her state of mind right now ahead of the finals?
Mithali, and normally Mithali doesn't speak much, when she's out. Like only when she is free, she will speak to me, especially with her dad. Sometimes she speaks. That too, it is only with the cricketing aspect. But other than that, she never speaks because she's totally focused on her team and all that. So she never cricketing aspect. But other than that, she never speaks because she's totally focused on her team and all that. So she never speaks, but I think I shouldn't say that there's no mental pressure or tension, because she has to get used to it, because it is not, see, every profession has got its own thing. So you are paid for it, you work for it. So you have to accept it and see that, fight it out, that's it. And the finals they have come in 2005 also, she had been there in the same mental pressure. So it is now the same thing, only difference is now youngsters are there with her. At that time she had her own teammates, like her age group. Now she has got youngsters among them, and they are equally doing the best performance they are giving. So I think she will, the team is good, and only hope and wish them that the Indian team lifts the cup.
All right. And ma'am, if I could ask you this, many are already drawing comparisons between Mithali Raj and Harmanpreet Kaur on the one hand, and, Dhoni and Yuvraj Singh, and the way they played in the 2011 World Cup that the men's cricket team won. Do you think that we're going to see perhaps a partnership of that kind in today's final?
Yeah, we all only wish that really India should do that, give their extra. I wouldn't say 100%, I would say 101% team effort should be there. And not only Mithali or Hanuman, but the whole 11 players should give their 101%. So when 11 into 101, the result. So the result is there for us we should watch out.
Right, ma'am. Now, this is a very, very big occasion for your daughter and the entire team. We're all rooting for them. But what would your message for them be?
Yeah, definitely. First I would like to congratulate Harman for her yesterday's innings, because it was a great innings from her side. And of course with the other, and Putin, of course, when they started the bowling part of it also. So with all that into it, I wish the Indian women's cricket team to go ahead and give their 101% and give the 101% best performance. I mean, just forget everything and just go there and do the kill in the Lords.
Right. And one question that we have to ask you, ma'am, how do you plan to welcome her back once she returns home after this tournament?
I welcome my daughter at home. It will be the same normal, like, if they win, I think I don't think I'll be able to give the welcome, my usual welcome to my daughter. Otherwise, also my usual welcome will be, of course, with a huge hug. It is always every time, like when she comes out from her tournaments, it is a huge hug, because I normally miss my daughter, and I think it's almost 2 months I have missed my daughter. So it will be a huge hug and a warm welcome to her. And if, the thing is now, if not also, it is the same welcoming to my daughter. And the wishes are there always for the Team India women's cricket.
Well, if they win the World Cup, I can tell you the celebrations are not going to stop for days and weeks. And finally, ma'am, what's your message to parents whose girls may want to make it big in Indian sports? Because a lot of times we hear about how women are not encouraged enough to take up sports.
See, now any child taking sports as their career or profession, there are a lot of first thing they have got so much of scope, not only technology and even you got this scientific way of doing things. I think they should go in for that. Because when I would just like to give an example here. Like when Mithali started her cricket, we were not aware of, because she is doing batting, there'll be so much of pressure on her knees, her legs, her hands and all these. So you need to strengthen them, those parts, that
Right.
is very important. So I think now there's a lot of scientifically,
Yes.
sports as a science. That is, we should go through that and really know your body, what
That's
level
right.
you can do your fitness. The talent is always there, talent will never go away. But unless you are fit, you can't prove your mettle. That
Absolutely.
is one.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking to us. And here's wishing Mithali and the entire team all the very best for that big match that's coming up today. And as we've been saying, wishes are pouring in from all parts of the country. And here's Team India, the men's cricket